know.
So, for example, you know that you can pick up a cup of tea. I've heard you say that example.
Well, it's the believe one. You know, it's you know, I don't get me wrong. This is, you know, it's not as I describe it, whizzing on a Picasso here, but the Napoleon Hill, one of my favourite books, Think and Grow Rich. But he's got his core line in that. He got wrong, and the core line is whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So what everybody does is a very powerful line. So whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So everybody in the world looked at that and go, right, I've just got to believe that I can do it. And this is one of my pet hate words. Believe is, you know, right, okay, glass of water. Do I believe I can pick it up? No, I know I can pick it up.
Yeah, it goes a bit deeper,
right?
doesn't it?
And now it's a case of if I went, right, okay, and you should, you know, encourage people to do this yourself when you look at it and go, right, now see if you believe you can pick it up. And think about believing you can pick it up. And all of a sudden you notice there's a little bit of doubt there, right? And what happens is you've just woven in doubt into your goal, into your dream, into your desire, right at the start. And the problem is this is only a little bit of doubt, but it's cancer, yeah? And this grows. And so what happens is whatever the mind can conceive and believe. So everybody works on the belief. I've got to believe it.
I've got to believe harder.
Got to believe
try
harder
to believe.
Right, so I've got to doubt more. I've got to doubt more, right?
Oh,
and the thing is, it's a case of belief is a doubt, because if you know something, it's an absolute.
Yeah.
Whereas believe is doubt.
Okay,
yeah?
So it's absolutely the wrong word.
So it's absolutely the wrong word. So now, if Hill had taken that word and he put the word no, so whatever the mind can conceive and know, it can achieve. Right? So I know I can achieve success. Right. So now, what's the only thing I've got to do? I've got to conceive.
Figure out how to do it and take the steps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then, if the world if he'd given us that line instead of the believe line, so many other books wouldn't have written the word believe into their sentences. They're all going to have to change now because I've made it, you know, crystal clear that
I'm sure they're
wrong,
all delighted.
Right? But anyone who's using believe is woven in doubt into their.
And you can hear it when we're talking about it. You can actually just hear the difference, can't you? It just seems so obvious, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is obvious. As I say, I don't
simple truth.
Yeah, I don't teach people stuff they don't know. You know, it's all stuff they know. They just haven't really figured it out yet. And when you think about, though you said hope, you actually knew that already. You just hadn't.
Just hadn't thought about it in that way. Yeah.
That's it. We don't think, do we?
Okay.
We're trying to just go through life without thinking about these things.
React. We're trained to react.
Yeah. So anyway, the power word. Now, going back to Hill's statement, because the actual intention of what he meant behind it is perfect, right? He just used the wrong word, and this is where words are so important. And if he had used the word no, then everybody's focus would have shifted to the power word in the sentence, which is the conceive bit, right? People go, I want to be a millionaire, and they don't give their mind any idea of how they can see what £1 million looks like, and they're here. They've given their mind no idea of how to get there, right? So they just work on believing it. I've got to believe it. I've got to believe it. No, you have to give your mind ways of getting there. And so how I describe it is you give your mind 10, 15 steps along the way to getting to be the millionaire, but you also give it options. So instead of giving it one path to go down, you give it 10 routes. And so then what your subconscious mind does, you've given it, let's say, 10 ideas wide by 15 deep, and your subconscious mind will pick its way through that. It can conceive it. It can conceive how, oh yes, to be a millionaire, well the first step is I've got to be good at what I do, and then my next step will be to quit my job, or to set up a separate business, or to do some money making technique. Once I've done that and I've got that to work, my next step is this. Right, and you give yourself lots of options, and so you've provided your subconscious mind a map, and your subconscious mind will find the route through. You know, now we do this instinctively.
I was actually doing it with a client this morning. You know, she was telling me about her skills and her qualities and characteristics and everything, and she said I said to her about her income goals, and she said I want to earn X by X and X by X, and I said okay, so how given the things you're already doing, this is how you could do it. So, I gave her all these different options, and now she's going to go away and presumably come back with some better ideas, because the options she'd given me were not going to add up to her income goals. But now she's got a bit of a clue about how to go about it. Because you're right, we just have this goal. People set arbitrary goals, don't they? Yeah. And they haven't got any idea of how to get from there to there.
And it's a case of, so how can your subconscious mind go and do something that's never done before?
Yeah.
You've got
to work out the steps.
Yeah, you've got to work out the steps. I mean, as